Turn it up. Listen up. It's that Spill crew at it again. Tap in with that Spill.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of That Spill. You know, you got the usual suspects. I'm your boy B. Bush.
It's Cliff. How you doing?
And then I got a special guest today.
I am Jabrelle.
Want to plug your product?
Oh, I am currently a distributor for TLC products. That's Total Life Changes. We do, I know you probably heard about it, our multivitamin NutriBurst. Also do the ISOT, 5 pounds, 5 days. Lose 5 pounds in 5 days. Hit me up. Yeah.
So is it just detox or like what is it all?
No, it's a full health and wellness line. So we do a number of CBD products, which is also in the detox teas. Again, the NutriBurst is a multivitamin. The tea is the main detox.
Okay.
And then what else we got? We got soaps. We got skincare.
Oh, y'all got everything.
I don't know if y'all ever hit me with that NutriBurst glow, but that reaches.
I see you glowing. I see you over there shining and whatnot.
Just a little bit.
So where can they reach you at?
I'm on Facebook as Jabrelle Janae. I'm also on Instagram as Jabrelle Janae or Jabrelle F. So you can hit me up there, and then hopefully maybe somebody will put my link for my TLC website in there so you can check out some of the products.
Gotcha.
We get you right.
Yeah.
So today, where we going today? Is the world full of program or free thinkers? What do y'all feel about that?
I think it's depending on who you're talking to and what you're doing. The vast majority of people and folks are programmed because 90% of us are stuck in our phones from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed. So we're programmed to do as such. What's your morning routine? What does that look like? What are you doing first thing you get up in the morning?
Most people hit their phones.
They reach for their phone.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
scrolling and everything before you brush your teeth. So you
Shoot.
program.
I wake up by my phone. My alarm on my phone. I mean, I guess I need to understand what do you mean by program,
Like,
so to speak.
I feel like we live in a society where we got to be told how to think. Like, nobody thinks outside of the box anymore.
Right.
Everybody's told how to think. They tell you that you got to vote for this person. You got to eat this way. You got to move this way, speak this way, whatever. So I feel like everybody's falling into that program mentality of losing ability to be critical thinkers. Like, we're too emotional about a lot of things that go on. Like politics, Black Lives Matter, all this thing. We don't gather all the facts. We just go off, this is this, and boom. And that's how we get our... And I feel like we're being programmed to think that way versus using our own critical thinking skills.
Yeah. I am going to say, and this probably is going to sound real controversial, but
That's fine. We like controversy.
I don't think that anybody is a free thinker. I don't even know if it's possible. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody pulls from everybody, and not only is it just like a trend, you know, everybody jumps on a trend, but it's so many false narratives out there. And even when people so call themselves removing themselves from the crowd, they own something else that somebody else plugged them into. Like, nobody is really like seeking knowledge and reading and soul searching,
Right.
and breaking from the norm, because even the what is it called, silos are full of people who are full of other ideations that came from somewhere else. I mean, nobody is creating their own path, I don't think, for the most part.
So I disagree. I disagree because there are free thinkers, and most of the free thinkers, we call them crazy.
Facts.
You crazy because you're not going with the social norm. Andre 3000, he's something wrong with him. He don't dress like everybody else. He's different.
We know what's wrong
He
with
different.
Andre. He got that Badu treatment.
He got that Badu treatment by Erykah Badu.
Yep.
Different.
But so do you think that Erykah Badu is a free thinker?
Yes.
Yes.
From using your talking points of not researching and not, having their own thought pattern, everybody learns from different things.
Right.
So
True.
I can learn something from somebody that's following a program and following a strict routine, but that doesn't mean I have to do it. I'm just watching.
True.
I'm a natural observer. I just watch everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So in me observing, I see people going down 3 different paths. That don't mean I'm falling down either one of them. I just see where you're going and say, ooh, you hit that bumper road, so I'm not going to do that. Then this person is going down. I didn't like how he did it, so definitely not going that route. Oh, this dude is doing that. I might follow that to an extent. So if this guy, if I'm watching somebody and say he says, one person say, I read 10 books a month. Okay, that's kind of crazy. But all right, then this other person says, well, I read 1 book, but I don't read the whole book. I only read certain things in the book, and I take it and run from there. Oh, Am I programmed because I'm following the path of this dude that says he reads 10 books a month?
So when you say free thinker, you basically mean just like making adult decisions, like for yourself, like being grown, doing what you want
I'm
to
thinking
do.
outside the box. I'm not just following the social norms of what everybody else is doing. I'm not a trending topic.
What I'm arguing though is that you outside of that box that's inside of another box that is inside of another box.
Yeah.
Unless you took and created your own damn box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then how free of a thought is it? It's plugged from somewhere.
It can be plugged from anywhere, but who's outside the matrix?
And I mean, and saying that you, just because, you do gather information from others and it guides your decision, and me saying that necessarily doesn't make you a free thinker doesn't mean that it's a bad thing either. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't know that unless you're just not influenced by anything, there's no way that you can truly be a free thinker.
I mean, I feel like you can. I mean,
You
we
could
all,
be a critical thinker, but
not a free thinker.
free of influence.
Who?
I don't know what.
How can you not to
Exactly.
think? You have to be influenced. Something
Exactly.
has to drive my influence.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
to think about it. To say,
Exactly.
why? I question everything.
Yes.
I don't take anything for face value.
Right.
You can tell me the sky is blue and the world is flat. Okay, let me go research that and make sure I agree. Because if you just said it, then your word is law, and I'm programmed to think and believe everything you say.
And that's the lines that I'm going on. Like, we follow suit. It's like we're not asking the questions. Like, take COVID, when COVID hit. Nobody asked questions. We were just given a whole bunch of random information, and there was just so much information on top of information that it seemed so confusing. So everybody just thought, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. So I'm asking my own doctor. I said, the mask is not for the healthy person, right? Generally, it's for the
Right.
person that's sick. So why are we all wearing masks? This motherfucker looked at me like, what? Yeah, like we're programmed. We're tripping over something that doesn't have a. Last time I checked, it didn't even have a % as a mortality rate across the world. But then we have flu and all these other things that's going on, and we don't trip about these things as hard as we tripped about COVID. We were told, hey, this is this way, and you got to be this way. And we all just accepted it without.
Because what was happening? Why were we so accepting of COVID? What were we seeing every day, all day? What was running on the news?
Media
Because
is
of the
telling you that
hysteria?
COVID is this and COVID is that.
So
Yeah.
if it's being programmed in your head that this is killing everybody, you got to do X, Y, and Z, then you're going to run with it. The masses are going to run with it. I'm not
I
saying
think we
you
live in a
personally.
society where nobody wants to think for themselves. I mean, everybody wants the microwave. They just want everything to be handed to them.
Instant.
Nobody wants to. They don't want to do the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It makes sense. It's just
So are they programmed or are they lazy?
both.
I mean,
Right.
a little bit
lazy,
of both.
lazy, because I don't want to think outside the box. You just told me this, so yeah, that sound. You sound like an intelligent person, so I'm gonna go off of what you said.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do no research outside of the box because what you said and it sound good. I'm gonna go with it.
Because it's all, like I said, it's all your emotions, and like you said, it's lack of research. So people are emotionally driven. Like,
Perish for a lack of knowledge.
yeah, I mean, that's what the good books say.
Yeah, but that all that. Ooh, let's not talk about religion.
Oh, let's
Slide past it because we can talk about the good
Because
book.
that's another box that's
Mhm.
inside of a
That's-
box.
yeah, I mean,
That's inside of a box.
So let's stay right there. Free thinker program.
let's go.
The Bible said you got to do X, Y, and Z. Because who said? Who wrote that? Man wrote it. The same
Okay.
program mentality.
Yes.
Man wrote it. So I got to go off of.
How did I know we was gonna go here?
'Cause
Somehow in
you
my
brought it up.
spirit,
You
I
brought it
knew
up.
this was.
Yeah, let it sizzle in your
Oh, 'cause
spirit
my
now.
little quote.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, the
Come
good book.
on
Let's
with
You gotta pay attention when we talk about anything that get close to religion. I'll be like, no, let's go.
It's
It's a sensitive topic, I think, for a lot of people, but I'm not a sensitive person, so whatever.
I appreciate it. Cause I don't want to ruffle no feathers, but at the same time, like religion is religion. It's
It
a
is.
tool to control folks. It's a program system
Yeah, it can
that's
be.
working.
It can be. I look at it more as a guide versus a controlling mechanism, but
What's a guide?
I mean, it's however guidelines, like an outline. It's not definite.
It's not definite, but what's a guide? What's an outline? It's something you following.
Yeah, but a guideline don't necessarily control you. You can deviate.
You can deviate, but it's still a
Yeah.
program.
Okay.
Church is a program.
But that don't
That's
mean.
because-
But that doesn't mean that your program by. There's a number of programs that educate you and inform you to make your own decisions, right?
Right.
So yeah, so it's a guide.
It's a guide.
It's not a controlling mechanism though.
Oh.
Just because someone used the program to try and control you doesn't mean that it's not still a good program or that it was designed to control you.
It's definitely was designed to control you.
Who told you that?
Okay.
Oh, so guys, this is what I'm talking about because we're about to get into this conversation.
Look, we
And
done-
when I was saying it, this is what I was thinking, right? Now we're about to go into ideation that I'm assuming stem from somewhere else because who planted or programmed it into your mind to believe that that's what? And I'm assuming that we're right now just focusing on Christianity because I feel the vibe from that. Okay.
I'm not even ringing up. The specific religion has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
It's
So then,
religion
You
as a
just
whole.
mean religion in the whole.
All of them.
Okay.
okay.
They all.
I would like to
have the
understand
same-
where that came from.
Yeah, it's all the same. Somebody stepped to somebody else and said, "This is the book that you need to go by, and this is how you're supposed to live your life."
Okay.
Whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Jewish, you name it, you're supposed to go by these rules and live this life. And if you don't, you're gonna perish and live in hell or whatever, heaven, hell. That good book that you got in front of you says that's what you're gonna do.
Okay.
That's a program. That's something somebody said. You got to live by this.
So, I'm just gonna ask
Let's go.
because I just want to know. So, just because somebody presented it to you, right, and showed you the program was put in place by someone whom I don't know, but a man put it on paper, right, for you to follow.
Mhm.
Does that necessarily mean that the end use is not valid or not accurate, right? So if they're telling you like, okay, this is the guidelines that you have to follow or this is going to happen, just because they said it and you don't necessarily believe it, does that mean that what they said would happen won't?
Yes.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Because you said it, I'm supposed to follow it. And if I don't,
No, that's not what I said.
not you. When I say you,
No,
I mean
but my
what you
question
said.
was just because they presented it,
Mhm.
right, and they told you that this was happening, but because you don't believe it, does that mean that it now will not happen? Does that mean that it's not true?
yes.
How
Okay.
so?
Because
Right.
somebody's saying this. If you don't do this, this will happen to you. Okay, that's your
But
opinion.
so if our lovely sound woman here, right, or producer, what is she? I don't want to mess up your title.
She's definitely producing.
Producer. If our producer says that you have to be on frequency 903.8 or else it won't work, right? And you say no, because I'm pretty sure I can be on 902.1 and it'll work. And you go to 902.1 and it doesn't work, right? You didn't believe her. Does that mean that 903.8 wasn't true? That's what she told. She told you. No, she told you what frequency you need to be on. You're implying that because someone presents something to you that you don't necessarily subscribe to, that makes it untrue. which is not the case. If I tell you that if you pull out in front of this car that you're gonna get hit, right, and you don't believe that, that doesn't necessarily mean that you won't get hit.
Thanks.
But it's a physical thing.
No.
If you physically walk, if you say you walk across the street, if you don't look both ways, you might get hit by a car. That's a physical thing.
So
that can happen.
So the spiritual is what you do. Okay.
If
Oh,
you tell
okay.
me, if you say that this
So
is
you're
the
saying that
only
you don't
way,
have any faith.
oh, whoa.
Well, because faith is what give me the phrase of it.
Faith is dead without works.
No, not that. Faith.
Which one? Faith
Faith
without
is
sight?
faith is belief without actually seeing.
And without seeing, yeah.
Yeah.
Who taught you that? Where you get that from?
It's in the program.
It's in the program. From who? From what religion?
But
standpoint?
so if you have faith, then where does it come from?
My whole thing is, I believe faith is, you have to experience things. Like, I experience things, so you can't make me not believe in what I believe in just because of my life experience and things that I have seen, things that I have dreamed that have came to fruition. So you can't make me believe nothing else. Yes, these religions were created to program people. People are traditionalized. We get that. Because at the end of the day, now churches become more of a profit versus a place of refuge in the Lord. So they're not preaching the gospel. They're preaching prosperity and things like that. So I get where Clifford is coming from on his end that makes him say, hey, I don't buy what you're selling. So I get it. Like, I get it, bro.
I'm not debating or questioning anybody's belief or religion.
Right.
Do
Because
you?
it's not about that.
No. What you believe in, what you subscribe to is for you.
Yeah.
But if you kick it back towards me, I'm going to say, no, that's not for me.
Right.
What you believe in, do you. I'm supporting it in that sense, but I'm not
Which
with it.
I think is important in anything. Like, if you have to choose a path and stand on it, right? And it don't necessarily have to be what the next person subscribes to. So I totally respect that. I guess my question is, right, is that how can you totally denounce that what is presented in the program is not factual if it has not come to pass yet? Because you're implying that because of the way it was presented, that there's no way it could be valid.
Because there's too many holes in the story for me to validate it.
Could that just be? Could the holes be because of the way that it was translated? Right? It could be the messenger, not necessarily the program itself, but the way that it was delivered.
Yeah, because man put his hand in it and messed it all up, so I'm cool.
Yeah,
I don't want no parts of it. No.
Again, that's where you research is the key. Like, you can't take everything at face value.
Right.
So you have to do your own work.
So where I'm getting my research from? The same people that muddied up the research the stuff I'm trying to counter is coming from the same folks.
So you said that you have faith, though, right? What do you have faith in? I guess I need to understand that, because confirmation comes
From self. For me.
Okay.
I'm God, you God, he's God.
Ooh, Jesus.
God is within. If you want me to subscribe to a religion, that's not gonna happen. If you want me to say individuals that we were all told, or this is who we supposed to believe in, and we were all, for the most part, you was raised Christian, you was raised as a Christian, I was raised as a Christian, Baptist.
Yeah.
So we were all told these stories, these allegorical stories of these people that walked this earth at some given time, but we can't find not one grave, not one part of an ark.
Who can't find it?
Where's Jesus' grave at?
Who can't
Nobody.
find it, though? Are you sure of that?
Because man told us it was over there somewhere.
But could it, and this is just me playing devil's advocate, because honestly, I don't know. I've not found it. No one has ever mentioned that they have.
Right.
But is it possible that they have and just didn't tell you?
Yeah. Because
It
if
is,
they
okay?
if they did,
So,
if they
so then the argument should stop right there, because it is possible that someone has verified this information and has chosen not to give it to you.
I know, because it's all at the bottom of the crypt in the Vatican. All the information, all these secrets of religion is down there. You can't go down there and access it, because if you knew the truth, then your whole
So who told
thinking-
you that? Because all of this sounds like it also came from something that man,
it came from research.
something that man wrote.
Yeah.
Just like the Bible, which
Yeah.
so man wrote the Bible, right? And that information was provided to them through God, as we call him, right? So you say that is flawed because man wrote it. So then is it valid to say that the information that you're also researching could be flawed because man wrote it? Okay, then. So the fact that you can just like take a stance and disregard everything that religion is presenting based off of that is kind of like...
I don't necessarily disregard what religion is going to teach. Discipline is going to teach structure. It's going to teach you different values.
Right.
I can take from those values, but if you want me to subscribe and say, I am this, I believe in this,
Right.
that's not, I'm not going to be.
I think that you should
part of that.
seek truth in anything, because, you know, to his point, you know, I was raised Christian, and I think that we were given skeletons, you know, so to speak, to work with, and not given all of the information, not given the meat, not because the people giving it to you didn't know the full truth, right? But that don't make it untrue. That means that they were just uninformed. That means that they were uninformed. So then you need to research further and dig deeper and gain clarity.
You have to do your own research at the end of the day, because you're sitting here taking the words of a pastor who's been basically taught in a seminary, this is this, and then you've been taught by your grandma to do this, and it's just been passed generations down.
But who stopped to do the research? Because it's been passed from generations down, and all these programmed
You should stop to do
religious
the
folks.
research.
Yeah, nothing
Okay.
stopping
I did.
us from doing the research.
Yeah, now.
They were hindered by a lot of things where they couldn't do. They just took information and said, boom, that's what it is.
Took it?
I mean,
It was force fed. It was beaten to them. If
So are we now talking about
We just jumped off.
Christianity given to
we're still talking about free
slavery and stuff
thinkers
like that?
and program folks. And what you're saying, yes, that's part of being programmed and being a free thinker. It's still the same thing. They were programmed to believe in this. They were beat to believe into.
So this is what I was saying earlier, why I
That's
say
it.
that, like, I just don't believe that you can truly be a free thinker, because I feel like this stance that you're taking was also programmed into you, right? Because you want so badly to break away from what you feel was deception, right? And seeking your own truth. But so much of this sounds like other non-believers that I've spoken to who has gathered bits and pieces of information, you know what I'm saying, from each other that are not necessarily rooted in facts.
I want the opposite.
What you mean?
I want what I was taught, what I was raised in, to be true. To have that faith without
right.
sight. I want to believe that the hereafter is going to be this great thing in the sky. I want to believe that. I want to be a part of that. But the more I researched and the more I looked into it and the more I seen things just from my own preview, like not even going to, hey, let's have a conversation about religion. This is just me sitting back and watching, seeing,
Watching fools.
watching people, watching the world.
But in knowing that people are programmed, right, and so to speak, not free thinkers for the most part, how does necessarily watching people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People who we already know are not free thinkers and are programmed and are naive to a number of things, right? How does watching them help you find truth?
Because it's right there in plain sight. It's hidden in plain sight.
But they my daughter said I can't say the R word.
no.
They're special.
I already know that, because I've
I
been
mean,
told
you
not
know-
to say the R word.
They're special.
So we gotta say the R word. But I just don't, you know, I'm just, all I am suggesting is that you may want to broaden your database.
I observe people. I read books. I go back. I observe people. I read books.
Have
What-
you consulted the Lord?
Yes. and you know what the voice sounded like?
You?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what her voice sounded like?
Who was her?
Is God a male or female?
Oh, okay. Guess we'll know when we get there.
I guess we know when we see
we
it.
know when we get there.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're gonna believe what you believe. I
Right.
mean, like, I talk to your brother all the time, so we talk about these things all the time. For me, the writing's on the wall. Like, I see
Right.
things like in the Bible when it talks about the last days, how people will become lovers.
Where did that saying, the writing on the wall, where did that come from?
What you mean?
Where did we get that from? The writings on the wall.
Oh, whoa! Now hold up, now.
It ain't deep. It ain't nothing crazy. Where do you think that came from? The writings on the wall.
I mean,
thought about it.
the ball
Okay.
of I
Just
would
the
think it's from hieroglyphs and things of that
Oh.
magnitude.
Snatched off the wall,
Yeah, the
put
writings
into
on
a
the wall.
book, and fed to you.
But what does so what does that matter if the vehicle changed, right? So if
The
in their
vehicle
times,
changed.
if all they had in their times were the walls,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone came along and translated into a vehicle that they could.
To make it their own. Why do you think we have several different versions of the Bible?
Yes.
The
That-
King
that is
James
true.
Version, I'm gonna make it my own
But so
to
that
make me the victor.
But so that brings me back to though, like how just because it was translated, how does that make it untrue?
Because I don't know what the truth is. If you change the story,
Exactly. So you don't know. So I feel like right there, boom.
if
Boom,
I'm-
then we good. You don't know.
But if I'm basing it off this book alone and no other book, because I'm not supposed to go and research nothing else, because I'm programmed to mind in the system to only read
Nobody's
this
ever
book.
said that though.
No. I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying in general. If I take this
Right.
book and this is my guide, my outline of life, what's the Bible? What's the basic instructions,
Basic instructions
before leaving Earth?
Yeah.
These are my instructions. So I'm not supposed to go outside the box to read nothing else because it'll muddy up what I'm believing and
But
subscribing
nobody
to.
ever said that.
I'm speaking in general. I'm not saying
But
for me
but in
personally.
general, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
like
it is.
so
That's what your pastor say.
no, that ain't what my pastor
Not yours.
said.
I'm saying again. I'm speaking in general. This
The
is what
book
the
itself,
program
the,
says to
the
do.
book itself that we're speaking of, right? The book itself says that my people perish for a lack of knowledge, which implies that you should research, right?
Right.
It also says study to show thyself approved, which again implies that you should do your research,
Right.
right?
And also says
So if there is a person, a living, breathing man that stands in front of you and tells you not to deviate from what's in this book and not to gain knowledge, then that's a fool, right?
Yeah.
Because the book itself don't say that.
yeah, because man touched it and made it their own.
And even when they touched it, it still say that.
Yeah, and it says a bunch of things in there that don't make sense.
True.
Yeah.
And how do we have this in the book, but the images is way different?
First of all,
We ain't gotta go
I
there.
mean,
I'm just saying.
but I'm just saying. I mean, because I get why people are skeptical and why it comes to these conversations and people have unbelief because man has tried to take something that for turmoil, right, and use it for their own good.
Right.
But even again in the Bible, at least the Bible that I read, it say that God work it all out for the good of those who believe Him, right? So the same book. So I'm gonna take it back to slavery because like the white man introduced Christianity to the slaves. They took them from their homeland, right, and stripped them of their religion and their
Culture.
beliefs, right, and presented them with Christianity and a book. But even still, when they used it to destroy them, right, and to control them, it's the exact same book, the exact same word that led them to freedom, right? It's the faith. It is. And that's also something that you can research where former slaves have written and said that it was their faith that helped them to keep going, right?
Right.
So what the man meant to destroy them still was a source of power for them, right?
Because they were programmed to believe in it.
Did it not help get them to freedom though?
Yeah,
So did it not serve its purpose that the Lord intended?
I'll be free.
I am. I'm not.
I wish your brother was sitting there because we had the conversation before of not being free. Or we're being slaves.
In what sense though?
Slaves because we work for the man.
I mean, not even just work for the man. People have, we still have slave mentality. We still have change that we have not broken. We have discussed this.
But even this conversation, I feel like is a form of slave mentality.
Programmed. We've been programmed to believe this, that we can't even shake these shackles off, even though they're invisible now. But we still ain't free because we haven't. I'm speaking in general.
Right.
As a community, we haven't shook these shackles off. We still not free. We still stuck. We still programmed. We still stuck. We still haven't moved outside of that. I'm not telling anybody to stop believing what you believe in.
Right.
Do it.
Right.
Keep giving it. Keep giving it to the next generation, but give them the option to say, this is what I was raised on. But you can have the option to believe whatever you want to.
Well, that's what
How many
Jabrelle was
times-
saying. Like she said, if you're giving them the information, cool, but also allow them to do the research on their own. I mean,
Yeah, it's not a. My bad. I'm not
No,
trying to cut
that's
you
fine.
off. I'm not. I hear what you're saying, but it's not. I'm not going to be stuck in a. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about because from your standpoint, my research is limited. It's not. I've been all over and seen different things and read different things. I just don't need to share it right here with y'all.
Right.
true.
Right.
I'm
I
well
don't think
read.
it's necessary.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm a free thinker.
So at the end of the day, because we was going in on this topic. So at the end of the day, if you had to take a percentage of free thinkers versus program thinkers, give a percentage. Just like 80-20, whatever. I would say 90-10 on my end. 90% of this world is programmed, 10% of it is free thinking.
Okay, can I say, y'all, that I think I'm confused. I think I'm confused off of what programmed and what free thinking mean, right? The definition like that we based this conversation on. So, but from my understanding, I'm going to say that I think that 0% is free thinkers.
And 100% program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cliff?
I would say 85% is program. 15% is stuck in the middle, and 5% is over here.
Don't you start with these things.
I'm not breaking down nothing. I'm not giving you nothing more than that. I'm just saying it is what it is.
At the end of the day, you're allowed to feel the way you want to feel. You can think what you want to think.
What is that? Free thinking.
Yeah, I mean, you allowed to. I mean, you got the right to do what you feel is necessary to get you through your life, and nobody can knock you for that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel like we should do more research to gain clarity on a lot of things, not base it off our emotions or our own personal feelings. Let's do the work, get the knowledge, soak it up, because it's out there.